Are you guys going to answer questions tonight about EMS? Or are y'all going to run out the back door again?
It's not on the agenda.
It don't matter if it's on the agenda. It affects our well-being, our families, their families. We'd really like you guys to give us some clarification.
I have just one question, basically. What is the main purpose behind going private? I mean, is it to save money?
No, it's not to save money.
Obviously.
All we've asked to do in this whole situation is for them to get control of the overtime. That's all. I mean, hold on.
Okay.
I'll let you go. And I'm trying to answer
Okay.
you.
Yes, sure.
Get control of their overtime. And it hasn't gotten better. Now, you can take COVID-19 out of the equation right now. And we're talking back. I mean, let's keep back from year to year.
Bye, Randy. Thanks for participating.
And that's all I've asked. Ms. Maureen has tried.
I said thanks for participating. We appreciate it.
Get it under control, and apparently, for some reason, she can't get them to come to work when it's their scheduled shift is to come to work.
The problem is getting people hired. They're still going to be hired.
I understand that, but when we were staffed, your words was, I still can't get them to come to work. Back there in the meeting. So,
They bring.
but and this board has not said we was fixing to go with nobody. Nobody.
That's not.
But we have the right to talk to anybody on any situation at hand that comes to taxpayers' money, the ones that put us in this seat to watch over their tax dollars. That's our main goal.
Good.
We think they do a wonderful job, and we want to keep them. Like I said, we're just asking them to get control of the overtime. Nobody has come up with a plan yet. Have y'all even met? Has anybody met with the EMS group to see what they can figure out? Maybe come back report to the board?
Actually, I have a plan.
Start because you didn't meet me.
Maureen, we met with you several times.
I have a plan, actually. Why can't they self-fund? They make more money than they have on their budget every year. Not necessarily, I've been in budget for 25 years, okay? The bottom line is they bring in between revenue and EMS and stuff like that, they bring in more than you're paying in their salaries and in their overtime and in their everything. They're bringing in $100,000 or more every year. I mean, I'm getting this from your paperwork that you gave.
Right. Is that the paperwork that was misprinted in the Brantley Enterprise that she's talking about?
No, that's the paperwork that I got from an open records request from your office.
Wrong that you got. I mean, that's fine. I ain't calling it.
No, that's just what I was given.
You got the wrong paper.
And if you're talking about what was in the Brantley Enterprise.
I don't remember which
Beacon.
one it is. I don't read
It's
it.
the Beacon.
I got all of that information.
I believe it's the Beacon.
From you, and I can bring in every newspaper article here that I got that information from. Some of it was, some of it was Brian Hendricks said. Some of it was Randy Davis said. So I just took your own comments and the information you put out there and got the figures that I had.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
Where did you get the comments that we were going privatized? I mean, nobody's ever said that. It got started that,
Toby Harris has been talking to him since April of 2019.
he
But
met
he
a
can
fellow
do
over
that.
there.
That's what we're saying.
Okay, but why hide it from the public and act like you're not doing it when he's been talking to him for almost 2
We're
years?
talking about it now.
And then you say it's an overtime issue, but has overtime been an issue since April of 2019 when he started?
The issue is accountability, a lot of it. I mean,
Okay, well-
Do you understand that sometimes, I appreciate what they do. There's no doubt I couldn't do it.
Well, you're the one that got her fired.
No, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I did? I think you're wrong there, son. You're making a bad accusation. You're making a bad accusation. I did
We know the
not.
truth.
But, you know, there's times, and this was pre-COVID, that, you know, I've gotten phone calls. What are y'all paying Jerry J's for to store the ambulances? You know, they see everybody up there eating and all. It's no big deal.
They gotta eat.
That's right. They've got.
They're in the county.
But yeah, but, you know, hey, well, had the same thing at New Beijing. But I figured the only way back, it's no big deal. But all we're asking to do is work together, cut things down.
That's not what happened.
One thing about the newspaper though, the figures that you put in there.
I didn't put any figures in
Well, whoever put them in there showed Brantley, you must be over budget by $125,000. If you remember the 2018 when the 2019 budget was set, you and Ray and Renee all talked to me about cutting the $130,000 off right before you approved that budget, and said, we've got to make the budget balance and we will adjust it as we need to. But there's $130,000 cut off of payroll whenever it was approved. Well, the figures that I turned in weren't that, weren't the ones that are in the paper. And this office sent the wrong figures out 3 times to me, twice to Nikki, as far as what was budgeted for 2019, to set the budget for the following year. But the budget itself was cut $130,000 off the top of the payroll.
No wonder she's got
I
overtime.
think we're, I guess if I mentioned Brady at all, and like I told you before, no, I haven't met with you. You asked me 2 or 3 times and I have not. The first time I met any Brady person was the same time you did. You know, we went to you about the overtime, we did. It's an issue. Well, you said if you'll get me more part-time help, we can do that. We did. Let me finish, please. So we did. And then it kept on, so we come back and asked about the full. You said, I need more full-time help. Then we need a raise. All right, we're reading the paper. You ain't had a raise in 6 years, we give you $1 raise. We did what we could. Those people mean a lot to us. We don't want them to go anywhere. But when we asked you about this, you said, I can't make them come to work. I said, well, why not they come to work? And you did, I know what you said. And you said, I'm sorry. You said, I can't make them come to work. And I said, well, we got, you know, this is what's eating stuff in the overtime. And you said, well, they had the blue flu the other week. I said, what was that about? And you said, I don't know. I said, well, what's so hard about telling people that only work 2 days a week to come to work? You know, please come in. Well, it didn't happen. And then you made a statement to me, and believe you me, I ain't the one who got you fired. You made a statement to me that said, if I can't get them to come in to work, I said, well, I walked out of that meeting thinking, we've got to protect the public. That is our job also. So, if you people can't come to work, that was it. They were covering the jobs, but it was all in overtime and overtime. Do you deny the fact that some of your people that work here work in another county?
No, I didn't deny that, but are they working more now? Yes. Did I lose $7,000 in sick leave? Yes. Because I'm dedicated, that's why.
I know that. I know
And
that.
she also would get on the ambulance when she didn't have staff. I've seen her working numerous 24-hour shifts because y'all won't advertise for it. That's not her job to advertise it. It's his job. The first time I've seen an EMS position posted and advertised, now I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, correct me. The first time I've seen it is just recently when it was posted that we needed more staff.
Look at him.
It's the county manager's job to advertise, not mine.
Well,
We knew that there's openings.
we just want the job covered, the people safe.
I asked him over and over to advertise. I asked him to put it on the county website, ACCG. He refused to. I just feel like I was set up.
You were.
Because my write-up was from I sending him an email. He called me on the phone, wanting an email from me. Well, I talked to him on the phone. I explained to him what he needed to know. I'd already emailed it to Kendall. The write-up's in Kendall's handwriting. I even called her out on it whenever I got the write-up. Because she's the one that wrote that handwriting email from you that I can give to the commissioners. I said, okay. Well, I was in the middle of doing trauma grant, trying to get medical director signatures so we could actually have a medical director Otherwise, we'd respond to calls and not be able to treat anybody, treat or transport. So that was the deadline for both of those, plus the safety action plan was due the next day. So I'm getting signatures for everything that I need. That was pretty minor on my list of things to do, because I already explained to him on the phone. I sat in his office for an hour and explained to him again. And he's the one that wanted me to leave, because I was trying to wait on Dr. Sigard's signature for the medical director. Because at midnight, we would not have been legal for the second time in the month. And I called the state and got it approved to be able to, the first time I called Dr. Snow and had him stay on. The second time I called the state office and sent them a copy of the contract and everything
For the
that I had
medical
done.
director?
For medical director.
I
Without
made the
medical
motion to
director, we
accept.
would have to shut down. We could first respond, but we could not treat, we couldn't give any medications, and we couldn't transport. And I explained that to him. But I was written out for not responding with an email. I came back over the next day with it in my hand of exactly by the person how much overtime and by the day how much overtime and how much time I'd spent on the ambulance. He wouldn't take it out of my hand. Even whenever he went and made a copy of the reprimand and came back in and gave it to me, I handed it to him again and he still didn't take it. He didn't need it. He wrote me up for not sending him an email, calling me negligent and incompetent. Now,
What say you, Mr. Harris?
yeah, go ahead.
How long was it before I asked you to give me the email till you actually gave it to me?
I never did give it to you because I was wrote up in less than 24 hours.
When were you
You
asked?
called me in the
No,
afternoon.
back up. I asked for a simple email, and you didn't send it, and it didn't come in, and it didn't come in. I asked you to
You
send.
called me on the phone and asked me to send you an email. I
I did,
explained it to you
yes, ma'am,
verbally.
I
I sat in
did.
your office and explained it to you, and I brought you over copies
So
of every bit of it and handed it to you.
your whole argument is you got fired because you didn't send the email in?
That's exactly what you said. That's exactly what my
No, ma'am,
document
you
says.
didn't
When we
get
get in your
fired for
office,
that. You were written up for not having it. That was what it was.
What was she terminated for?
I had it in my hand and you wouldn't take it. I still have the copies that I made because I broke it down by the schedule, by the day, how many hours of overtime and who was out. And if you'd have asked Kendall already had an email on Monday. And every one of those little notation things explained it because there's only 2 people out for the 2 weeks and 1 person out for a week. It wasn't hard to figure out. And you said you needed it written up so you could give it to the commissioners. I gave it to you written up. I gave you 2 pieces of paper that you wouldn't take out of my hand. So how bad did you really need that? How important was that email?
After the fact that I was asked for it, you didn't do it. It was until you were called in and you were written up that you actually brought it.
I brought it over. I was sitting here working on it when you called. I had just finished it. I was on the truck until 11.
I have no intention.
I was on an ambulance until 11 o'clock. There was
I
a
know
little
there's
bit
been
of priority over you getting
Why
an
were you
email.
on the ambulance?
Because she doesn't have people coming to work.
What? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
If they don't come to work, we have to cover the job.
Yes, but she's covering it. Why fire somebody who's going there
Listen,
out of their
do
way
you
to
want
cover
Are you
it?
married, sir?
I'm not
You
married,
have
no.
children?
No, I do not.
All right.
But I have
I
family.
like to think that somebody has worked 24 hours or 48 hours and go pick my wife up or your
Look at
husband.
Anthony's check.
I mean, you have to think about that.
Go look at
I mean,
Anthony's check
there's-
this week because he was bragging about how big it was.
Do what?
Go look at Anthony Hines' check for this week. And if he was supervisor
Oh,
material.
yes, I know, the overtime is not
If he
slowed
was
down.
supervisor material, he would have already been a supervisor because it's been an open position. I mean, that is nepotism to the finest. You put her in charge and she makes Anthony her supervisor.
I don't think Anthony's got a supervisor role because nobody's accepted it that I know of.
No, sir.
If they have, I did not.
Everybody at EMS thinks that he is.
Well, you know, it seems like y'all have a conflict over there, and to tell you the truth,
I don't
if
think
you
any.
want, no, well, there's a lot of people saying, I'm glad she's gone, but I thought you did a good job. Here's what I say, this has got to be ironed out. And it looks to me like I have no problem, I don't care for Grady. I don't care about privatization for the fact that I don't want to be in charge of something I'm not in control of.
We
If
know.
I'm not going to be in control, I don't need to be in charge. You need to get somebody else, a patsy or somebody. We're elected to do a job.
Well, the
All right?
cares-
We have to look out for public safety. My question, and you heard me say it right here when the Grady guy came in. I said, make sure I'm quoting myself right. You asked about the coverage of the ball games and, you know, the things y'all do that we really appreciate. they would probably, you know, it's not money with me. Sure. Everybody does that when you're doing that. But if we were to do something like that, I hated the fact that the public said we've already done this and we've done things behind closed doors.
I haven't talked to anybody.
I'm not saying you more,
I've talked
but
to
you. and a few
Hey,
more.
I will say, hey, I will admit that I have said it, and the
We can do it and save $350,000. Why come we can't do it? Why come we can't do it? I know they got a lot more resources and they got a lot more money.
I can answer that, because they lied. The first year, they
Well,
may,
you know,
the first year they may do it, and
I-
what
I-
they say they're gonna do.
I didn't say I was a
But
fan
by
of
the
it.
time that first year is over, they're gonna add this because of that.
That's what
and
scares
that
me.
because of this. I can guarantee you, I've been in the business.
But I can
Judge,
give, I can give.
Gentlemen, the meeting has been adjourned.
Yes, sir, you're welcome to leave if you'd like.
And you gentlemen are members of the board, and you're all here and you constitute a quorum, so under the Open Meetings Act, you need to.
oh, so
Ma'am, if you'd like
Okay.
to talk, I'd like to talk to you.
Okay.
We can't all meet like this.
they can't talk. They can't talk to the people that put them here.
Okay,
No, we can't talk
No
because we're
problem.
breaking the law.
No problem, let's
I
go.
want you to learn that.
I know a lot more than you think, buddy.
Let's go. So,
Yeah, have a nice day. Thank y'all for nothing.
now that-